Welcome to the tutorial on using templates in Dreamweaver CS5. By the end of this, you'll be able to quickly put together a multi-page website. First, let me describe to you how templates work. Dreamweaver creates an HTML file that holds all of the stuff on your site that doesn't change from page to page. So if you want to have the exact same navigation, the header and the footer the same on every page, you put them in a template file. The way this works is to create a template and set it up exactly how you want, like this. Then you create HTML pages that are linked back to this template file. Sometimes these are called child pages. The really nice thing about doing it this way is that if you make a change to the template file, Dreamweaver will update all of the HTML files that use that template. So if you need to add a new link or change a misspelling or just make any type of change in the template, every page is going to get updated. Now that's great, but all your pages are not identical. They're not just clones of the parent page. Your home page is going to have an overview of the site, your About Us will have the history of your company, and so on. We need a way to make sure that we can add custom content to each of the child pages. And this is done with editable regions. On the original template, you're going to mark a table cell or some region as editable. All the child pages will then allow you to put whatever you want in that editable region, and it won't be affected by the template. This allows you to keep a segregation between the common elements of your site and the things that are unique to each page. If you update the template, it's only going to update the things outside of the editable region. If you change content in an editable region, it'll never affect the template. So let's see how to do this. First, I'll need to create a folder that's going to hold my site. So I'll create a new folder, and I will simply call it Site. In Dreamweaver, which I already have running, I'm going to click Site, New Site. I'm going to call my site Site, just to make it boring. And then I'm going to go to my desktop and browse for the folder that I just created. There it is. I'll select it, and I'll save. And you can see in my Files panel that I now have that folder selected, and I'm looking inside of it. Now I'll create a blank template to start with. And you do that in File. I need to click New. And there's an option here called Blank Template. Inside here, under the template type, I can choose an HTML template. I advise you leave the layouts alone. They're not that great. And now I'm just going to click Create. And I've got what looks like a plain blank HTML page. In fact, if you look at the code, it's HTML code. I'm going to create a really simple table-based design. Nothing you haven't seen before. I'm going to drop in a table. I'm going to make it 3 rows, 2 columns, 960 pixels wide. That's a pretty common design width for layout tables. Set the border thickness, the cell padding, and the cell spacing to 0. And that should be pretty common for all your layout tables. I'll click OK. And I'm going to center align the table. And I want to merge the cells in the top row and in the bottom row. And then I want to take this column divider here in the middle and push it over to the left. This left column is going to hold my navigation, and I want it to be about 200 pixels wide. There we go. And now I'm going to put some placeholder text in each of the cells, so I know what's supposed to go in there. That'll be my header. This will be my navigation area. This will be my content area. And at the bottom, that'll be my footer. Now, if I try to save right now, Dreamweaver is going to give me an error. This template doesn't have any editable regions. We have to drop one in before we can save this. To drop in an editable region, highlight the area that you want to turn into an editable region and click Insert, Template Objects, Editable Region. Now every editable region has to have a name. I highlighted the word Content, and I'm going to call this editable region Content. And you get this tiny little green box that appears next to your highlighted area. Now I'm going to try and save again. And it looks like it's going to let me this time. I'm just going to call this Template 1 under Save As and click Save. Now I want you to look at the Files panel over here. What you'll see is that Dreamweaver's created a folder called Templates, and inside it, it created template1.dwt. DWT stands for Dreamweaver Template. You may have noticed, you may have seen this, that there's an option called Save as Template under File. Don't use it. It's only there for converting an existing HTML file into a template. Okay, now I'm going to start making those child pages we talked about earlier. I'll close my template file, and I'm going to go back up to File and click New. And now I'm going to use Page From Template. And you see I have a list of sites, I only have the one, and then the list of templates that I have for this site. I'll just click Create. This is an HTML file, and if you notice, I can't click on anything outside of the editable region. So I need to save this out as all of the different pages in my site. I'm going to simply do this. File, Save As. I'll save this one as my index.html. And then to quickly save the rest of the pages in my site, I'm just going to keep saving this one out as all the other pages that I need. So I'm going to hit Control-Shift-S, and we're going to do News. Control-Shift-S again. Links. And I think you get the pattern. This one will be Calendar. You can make up whatever pages you need for this. And then we'll do About Us. If I refresh my site, you'll see that I have all of these pages down here. Now they're not linked back and forth to each other, but Dreamweaver did do a nice thing. They are all open up here. So to get them to link back and forth to each other, I need to go to my template and make a change to my navigation area. I need to add these navigation links. Now, how do you know to add it to one of your HTML child pages or to your template? Well, the rule of thumb is if you want it to change on every page, you change it in the template. If you want it to change in one page, go to that one page. So I want this change to happen in all of them. I'm in my template. I'm going to add links to everything. There's Home, Calendar, About Us, it doesn't matter the order, Links, and News. And all I'm going to do is highlight each of these and use the point to target to turn them into links to the right pages. Calendar, About Us, Links, and finally News. I'll even add just a little bit of design to this. Set the horizontal to center so it looks a little bit nicer. Now when I save this template, I'm going to get an option. Dreamweaver would like to know if it should update all of these pages. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point of this. So click Update, and if you don't have this little button clicked, Show Log, it's really useful. If Dreamweaver encounters any errors, you'll see them here, and you can fix them. I'll go ahead and close that. And I'm going to look at all my other HTML pages, and they have that change made. Now because they were open, Dreamweaver hasn't saved them yet. So I'm going to do File, Save All. Let's test it out and see if it works. I'm going to click on Index and hit F12. And I can click on these links, and well, it doesn't really seem that I'm going to different pages. Let's add a little bit of add a header to each page so we can tell where they are if we're actually changing pages. I'm going to click inside this cell in my template file. First off, I'm going to set the vertical to top, and I'll update again. Update, and close. Index, I'm going to make that my home, make that an H1, and save it. And News, and this is Links, and this is Calendar, and this is About Us. And I'll save all again. Now if I preview the page, there's Home, Calendar, About Us, Links, News, and I can simply go back into my template whenever I'm ready and replace these with real graphical navigation. The last thing I want to show you is how to update this so you can add a new page. I'm simply going to duplicate one of my existing pages, and I'll rename it just to something silly, just to show you how to do this. Back in my template, I want to add a new navigation item, so I'm going to go after News, type in Stuff, highlight it, and this is in my template, link it to the HTML file, I'll save it again. Update, and close. I'll do a save all. And let's do it one more time. Every page seems to have that stuff link, and if I click on it, it takes me to an old version of news. That's not helpful. So for some reason, Dreamweaver didn't update this new stuff.html. We can force it to. In Dreamweaver, I can click Modify, Templates, Update Current Page, and that's going to force the template back onto the page and any updates that have been applied. And I need to change this to Stuff. Now I'll preview the page once again. Now I'm on my Stuff page, and the Stuff link is everywhere. And it works. So that's templates. It's one of the more powerful features of Dreamweaver. Happy coding!